and I'm going to assume it started. Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be doing something different. Very different. Hopefully, actually, you know what? Let me put my phone on silent mode. Because I don't want to be disturbed. There we go. All right, that should be good. So today we're going to be reacting to content creators. That's right. And we're reacting to 3 videos from 3 different content creators. One of which being Phase 1 Foam, and of course we're going to be looking at Tessera's Nerf Room and Spider Avenger Miller. Not in that order, but whatever. Hopefully the chat doesn't mess up. Hello, Double Punch. I guess you know what we're doing today. This is the first reaction stream. So which Phase 1 video have I not seen yet? I'm not reacting to the 430 dart challenge. No way. It's too long. Not because I'm not... Ooh, I haven't watched the Tier 0 Strife build yet. Let's do that. Let's do that. That'll be the Phase video we react to. Nice intro. Love his intro. Especially the hat. The usage of that hat is really just perfect.
Welcome back to Phase 1 Foam, where as always the hair might be fake, but the reviews aren't, and neither are my opinions.
Same here, Double.
This is Phase 1, my most advanced Strife in my arsenal.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why are you bragging so much? I'm just kidding around. Look, I'm going to do this a lot. But, no, yeah, from what I've seen of this build, it's really cool.
Currently.
Wait, why are you testing? Oh, I forgot.
What is this blaster trying to accomplish? Well, it's a short dart, only Strife, and I will explain.
Alright, we're done with the video. I'm trying to figure out a joke around. Let's react this.
As the review goes on, and it is made to be used in any type of game, no matter the FPS limit. But first, let's get into the design of a blaster. Starting up the front, there is an instruct barrel log. And then moving back, we have the paint piece Strife, and I will explain that as the review goes on.
You really analyze this.
And it's made to be used in any type of game, no matter the FPS limit. But first, let's get into the design of a blaster.
You can see right there, right at that little second, he was about to go in and grab the camera to cut the video. Phase, I'm going to have to knock 1,000 points off, 14 points off. I'm just kidding around. All right, let's keep going.
And then moving back, we have the paint job that has been done with a black Rust-Oleum primer, a blue Rust-Oleum base, and then weathering on places like the grip.
Actually, that's you can't see too well with it.
A few other spots.
But that's a really good paint job. I love the weathering. It looks really good. I love just how shiny the paint is. It looks so good and metallic. I know he uses vinyl dye or whatever, so that's probably why. It was a really good paint job.
That's on here. And then topped off with Rust-Oleum clear coat. All of those paints have been done with 3 coats each. Moving up here, we have the 3D printed nameplates that say Phase 1 on it. There's one right there and one right there, which both replace the name of the YouTuber. Strife. And with all that being said, guys, let's move on to the ergonomics. Now moving on to the ergonomics. Not much has changed, it's still a standard Strife, but we have
This is where I'm going to have to interject. I do not like the Strife's ergonomics, personally. Now, I know he's talking about the modded blaster, and it's kind of off topic. Hopefully the stream's going through well, but I personally am not the biggest fan of the Strife grip. And I think it's good when you add a stock to it. As a grip for the blaster itself, it's not a grip designed for a pistol. It's not a pistol grip. It's not designed for a blaster that's not run with a stock. It's designed for a stock. When it's not with a stock or any other like attachments, the grip is literally not designed for that. So I think it's not good when you have it like that. When you add something to it, though, the grip makes more sense. It adds balance to it. But the grip is like trying to overcompensate for weight that's not there. So it's hard to explain, but for me, it feels off balance when it's just that grip. It feels awkward and kind of just weird, to be frank. And I think I personally think it's better with a stock. Or just a grip attachment you can add like a 3D printer. Also, let me know if the chat's working. Someone types. It should be working. We'll see.
3D printed foregrip that has been constantly moved from Patriot to the Straven to now this blaster because it's such a good, nice, comfy grip. Good
it looks like a good grip.
Moving on to functionality. This blaster is semi-automatic with a 21 amp micro switch with 16 gauge wiring, and one of the coolest things in this blaster is a swappable cage setup. Right now in here I have a Tsunami cage with Feynar's Inferno Wheels V2, but I also have a Daybreak cage, which you guys will see later in the firing demo. Along with that, up in the jam door, we have a voltmeter, which is really cool.
Dude, that's cool.
When I go to rev this blaster, that's when the voltmeter is then activated, and I am able to check my voltage mid-game when I need to do that. Alright guys, we got phase 1 out here, we got worker, Gen 3, Half-Life
so
darts.
much nostalgia. YouTube, I swear if you come at me, I know it's copyright free, so it'll be fine. I'll buy that Kid Recon for $5.
Same cage,
Sonic
same
Recon.
darts, tactical Nerf fingerprint.
Heck yeah.
Never gets old. Hi guys, we have phase 1 out here with the Daybreak cage in here.
Wait,
so
there's 2 phase
Gen 3
1s?
darts,
Hold up.
18
There's 2 phase 1s right on screen. Look, there's one here, and then there's phase here. That's phase, and then that's also phase. So which one's phase?
grouping test on the gun, whatever the hell you want to call it then.
It's the blaster!
Hopefully I can demonstrate how accurate this thing is, because it is fairly accurate.
If you were hitting for the side of the target, that would be a really good set of shots. Dude, his skill is amazing.
Now on to my final thoughts and opinions on phase 1. Well, it's great. The blaster, the performance is just...
Did you just pick your nose?
Amazing. On the Tsunami cage, I was getting 136 feet per second average with Worker Gen 3s. On the Daybreak cage, I was getting 180 feet per second average with Worker
That's
Gen
not
3s.
bad at all.
Another amazing part about this blaster is all the attachments that have been painted up to the color scheme of phase 1 and work with it. There are 3 barrels, 3 stocks, and a single scope, 3 grips. I mean, there's so many options and combinations I can do with this. It's just really cool and nice to have those kinds of options with it. And honestly, I can't wait to run this in more games throughout the year.
Amazing.
Thank you guys for watching. You guys are awesome. You guys feel awesome. If you guys like what I do here, please consider subscribing. It's free.
I'm already
Change your mind
subscribed,
later
dude.
and unsubscribe, but subscribe. Stay safe. God bless. And remember, as always, hair might be fake, but the reviews
Wait,
aren't.
his hair's fake?
Phase up.
Ooh, we got a little montage. Nice. I thought he said he hated that grip. Oh, he got a good grip on there. Okay, good. Oh, dude. That's awesome. Phase, great mod. Absolutely amazing mod. I don't rank... I don't rank mod videos usually, but 10 out of 10 video and 10 out of 10 mod. From what I can see, I'm not a mod expert, so probably not the best person. Since that was a short phase video, let's react to one more that I think I can judge more accurately. Turbine. I haven't watched that whole one yet. That'd be cool. Phoenix. Oh, here we go. Angry review. This is an older one too, so that'd be funny.
Icon series launch shot. Let's talk about it. Cue intro.
Oh gosh, the music! Oh!
No, I'm kidding. We're not using that.
My ears! Oh gosh!
Made by me, so let's
Sorry.
well. No, I'm kidding. We're not using that one anymore. That thing was a piece of made by me, so.
Oh, he always agrees.
Let's head on into a brand new one.
That's better. Not as good as the new one, but way better than whatever that ear-destroying, ear-bleeding one was before. Dude. This is taking forever.
Strife came on.
I'm sorry. Please don't be copyright. Hold on. I don't know which one of these are copyright.
Any doubt in my mind that the launch was probably the most modified blaster before the Strife came along. And if anything, the launch shot was one of my favorite blasters, and it still is to this day. But there is so much wrong with the Icon Series launch pad.
It is. It's one of the worst blasters I think ever released for Hasbro.
Irritating. Let's start for the basics though, and let's get down into it. First off, you do indeed have a end-strike barrel attachment point, so you can add in the on-shot front gun if you want to. But you want to know what you should do is you should take it and throw it out.
Yes. So hold on.
You're bad.
Fun little fact. Patience level 95%. Oh, he has a meter. Oh, here we go. So one thing I do want to clarify here, and this is something cool, is that if you want your long shot front gun to be good, all you must do is take a Tech 4 from Busby, rip the spring out of that thing, and stick it in the long shot front gun, and you have a very solid little single shot barrel. Little tip for you there.
You got the bipod, which was missing. Zombie strike long shot. You have the scope
Anyone
that
watching?
came with the original long shot.
Yes,
Same
someone
mold.
watching.
Plastic
Someone
on both
enter in the
sides.
chat. I haven't seen any
plastic,
chat.
but still on both sides.
I haven't seen a single chat for the past like 2 minutes, and I'm kind of worried.
It came with a 6-round magazine, and we'll get to the magazine, believe me. The jam door I took out when I went to lubricate this blaster and check out the internals before doing this review, and I'll explain the internals in a few. Next, you got the on-shot stock, which was adjustable. So if you want to, you have it out, which also allowed you to hold a magazine in the back. The mag retention in this is actually pretty well, considering all things considered, but the stock is, well...
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. That's worse than the original long shot.
I'd recommend just taking some...
Patience level 70%. Holy cow.
Putting it in the back. Fully extend it, put some PVC back here to stop it from
Put Lego bricks.
being able to...
Lego bricks work wonders for that.
Yeah, just do that. This is a sprinter, so it's going off of a spring, and let's talk about the sad parts about it. The internals. The plunger tube has been shrunken.
It makes me so mad. Not only did they not really upgrade... Not really did they really didn't do any kind of upgrades to the performance. Not only that, they shrunk the internals so you can't do the mods that you used to be able to do with the long shot. Nerf, what is wrong with you? It's like you purposely put this in the icon line. And what is this thing most iconic for? It's most iconic for its mod ability. Guess what? You didn't even give us that. So what's the point, Nerf? You didn't upgrade the performance enough to justify changing the plunger tube. This is actually something that really makes me mad. And I'm considering now to throw it in my worst blasters list because it's really that bad.
Extremely shocked how small it was compared to the original one. I actually went over to a buddy's house to, compare it to theirs, which was stock, and the plunger tube was way smaller than the one from the original one. They shrunk it down so you're getting less air behind your dart. But the spring is stronger. The spring in this is stronger. But even then, before opening it, I chronoed it with brand new darts. Got an average of, it was 70 FPS. But I had outliers of like 20. I actually removed the air restrictor from this thing, and it still doesn't fire well.
Patience level 69%.
It honestly is a piece of garbage. I mean, I think I could crap out something better than this. Is, if anything, discouraging to the legacy of the long shot. And that's not to say much, because, I mean, what you did is you take something great, like the long shot, and then you turn into something terrible. It's like when they had the Strife. That was great. And then they made the Phoenix. That was terrible.
The Phoenix.
Why'd they do that? I have no idea. But, I mean, if you're desperate for a long-shot show, sure.
That's true.
But it's not the same show.
At least re-release it in the red colors.
Probably means most of the kits for a long-shot aren't going to work. I have yet to test that because I don't have a kit for one.
To my knowledge, they don't.
They're probably not going to work. Honestly, I would
just don't, to my knowledge.
Guys, it's not worth it. You know what? It's so bad. I mean, even the magazine quality. The one good part about this magazine in the blasters, it does come with the original magazine, which is that has the original parts of
it doesn't come with the original magazine because the original magazine,
you can use them.
It's the
that part about it is the magazine.
I don't know where it is right now.
So poorly molded and just it's so. I've dropped this mag on the ground and it cracked open.
Nerf needs to get their mag game changed, especially with the double punch and the sword charge. Those are horrible.
This is a pretty recent, brand new 6-round magazine. Good spin in there, very smooth compared to the rubbing of that. Spring feels a lot better in here. Also, plastic feels way better in this magazine.
I really don't know how many people are in
this
stream right now.
Whatever. So let's open up the internals.
Whoever's watching, please drop a chat, just so I'll know. Oh, he opened the internals. That's cool.
You got your catch, you got your plunger tube. This plunger tube is smaller, and I mean, it's smaller. That's not as bad as I thought. I guess. By how much, but I do know it is smaller and has less power in it. Locks and trap and just catch, spring, and just So I mean, obviously, like we are a barrel log. You got your bandolier attachment point. You got your barrel log. This flow barrel. You got the parts.
He's just losing it. He's destroying it. Hey, at least you can use the bolt. That's something. Patience level critical. What does that mean? Jeez, the music.
What is wrong?
It is chaotic. Jeez. It's over. Oh my goodness. Well, that was something. Am I like this? I don't know. Oh my gosh, that was... Well, now that we've done that, let's react to another YouTuber. Tessera. Or Tessera's Nerf Room. So, let's take a look at Tessera's Nerf Room. Let's see what videos Tess has got for A. Because I sure want to mess around with him a little bit. And what other way to do it? So, I'm going to watch... Let's find a video that's going to be like the most funny to watch. And then I can make the most fun of him. Don't worry, he does this to me. It's my turn now. Strife Killer. I've seen a lot of these videos, so like, let's go down to the lower depths of Tessa's channel, and let's find something just to. Oh, this is good because now I have argumentative stuff. Oh, this is great. Oh, shut up, ads. These ads are just getting so annoying.
Hi. Welcome to Tessera's Nerf Room. So if you've been nerfing for a while, you'll probably know that Hasbro has had a foothold in one thing specifically, the semi-automatic flywheel-powered magazine-fed blaster. Right here. This nugget right here is the Strife. Everybody knows what it is. Pretty much everybody likes it. It's just a universally well-received blaster, and it honestly was never dethroned. But there was a time where people thought that something would dethrone it. This one.
I did too, I'll be honest.
So today we're going to be taking a look at the Dart Zone Spectrum to see if it actually got close to succeeding at dethroning the Strife. Although you can do this with it. So
it got close. I will always argue that.
For a bit of background, this blaster was released in 2020. Same year that we got the Nexus Pro. What a polarizing blaster that was, and pretty much the same here. This is another blaster.
I'd argue when the Nexus Pro came out, it wasn't polarizing.
Or you really don't. But this blaster right here is actually pretty interesting because it directly was competing with Hasbro's Strife, which was a pretty big deal considering that nothing has ever really dethroned the Strife before. I mean, people have said that some blasters were Strife killers, but none of them actually succeeded at doing that because the Strife is just so unbelievably popular and there were so many mod kits for it, and it was such a perfect compact little platform to modify off of. Even for a stock little flywheel blaster, it was really good. But this blaster succeeded at one thing that the Strife could not do, being a better stock flywheel blaster.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, I'll let him finish his second here. Here's the thing. The Spectrum, and what people don't understand, I will always agree with Coop's take on it. It is way better. It is better than a stock Strife. There's no denying that. I even would be objectively better than a stock Strife. You have all the things you kind of need. The only real problems that it has that are inferior to the Strife are the rev trigger and the mag wheel issues, and that's it. And mag wheel issues include the mag release problems. But seriously, you have a blaster that you can rev up, out of the package, no locks. It's already pretty much a rewired Strife out of the box. 6 AA's and you're getting 100 to 110 FPS. You have no locks in there, which is absolutely amazing. And you also have a lot of mod potential for this thing as well. Not as much as the Strife, not even close to as much as the Strife. However, it is a lot more. It does have a lot of mod potential. Not compared to Strife, but it has a lot to the point where it is a very moddable blaster. You can get some really good kits for it. So that has it going. That's going for it as well. Really, as a stock blaster, you can never change my mind that the Strife is better than the Spectrum stock.
We'll get back to that in a moment. Wow, a whole bunch of attachments just appeared on my Spectrum. Starting off with the design, this is with all the included stuff it comes with. It comes with a foregrip that actually folds just like that Modulus one. It comes with a cool looking scope, and it comes with an adjustable stock that you will never, ever use. And you'll see why in a moment.
That's true.
But if we actually take a look at the blaster without all of these attachments on it...
The scope's cool though.
Yeah, it's a Strife with a barrel on it.
You could argue that the grip and stock are useless, and I would agree. The scope is really cool looking. And it fits on a lot of blasters. In fact, I actually have it on my Whiteout Long Strike up there, and it looks amazing.
Like, legitimately look at it. It looks like the Strife, but it has a barrel on it. It actually looks a whole lot like the Storm Charge, but we already kind of delved into that can of worms when I unboxed the Storm Charge on stream. If you weren't there for that, then make sure to check into my streams, because I stream like once a week or so.
That was like,
now,
I actually haven't seen
out of the way, let's talk about the design, which I think looks really, really cool with or without all of the attachments that it comes with. It is a very sort of retro firearm looking thing like you'd see in a Star Wars film or something like that. Very retro, very space, and it takes me back to the early N-Strike days, or even all the way back to the 90s, where they tried to over-exaggerate the coolness of their blasters by making them look...
It really does have an N-Strike feel to it, which I kind of like that aspect of it.
Super cool, and like you would see in a sci-fi film or something like that. It is a very fun design. I really like the way this blaster looks. Honestly, it kind of reminds me of that one SpongeBob episode where they kept those like pump net guns and they're going around alien hunting.
The aliens are projecting our memories onto the environment.
I don't know if you guys remember that, but it doesn't really matter. Let's go on to the ergonomics. It's got a grip, and it comes with a foregrip and a stock, so I'm going to be judging all three. The main grip is not too bad. It's a little bit too small. I think that the grip could be quite a bit bigger, and I do think it's a bit too sharp of an edge around the corners, at least on the front side. The back side is pretty rounded, but the whole front end of the grip is a little bit too sharp for my liking. As for the foregrip, it's big, it's comfy, you can get your whole hand around it, and then with the push of a button, it turns into a very nice, sturdy foregrip. And I emphasis on sturdy, it doesn't fall off for one specific reason, which I'll get into a moment, and it's also
really cool
the world's funnest little fidget toy.
It is fun. The fidget.
As for the stock, it is, oh my gosh, it's worse than the Retaliator. How is it worse than the Retaliator? I've never used this thing as a stock. If I ever actually put a stock on this, which I rarely do, I usually just take the stock off the Villainator and put it on here, which is probably what...
The stock is literally... the stock's embarrassing. I will always admit that. However, I think I could be wrong. There is different 3D printed stock options you can get to go on the back of this thing. So that's something, I guess. But yeah, the stock's absolutely this. This is the whole stock right here. This is it. This is it. That's the stock. It's tiny.
everybody else does, because everybody knows that this stock is way too short, even in its fully extended position. This is as long as it gets, and it's still only half my arm's length. It's too short. It's basically the same as the Retaliator stock, and it is terrible. Why did they do this? The actual stock itself is pretty comfortable, though, and the cheek rest is alright, even though, again, it is way too short. I just don't know why it's so short, but we're going to ignore that really quick and take these attachments off. Well, the scope looks pretty cool, even though it's just a plastic scope. But let's take a look at the foregrip really quick. There are two buttons on this. The one on the front obviously adjusts it, but the one on the back actually locks the foregrip. The rail has this nub built in, actually it's over here, and on the actual piece, there's like a little locking nut right there. So when it slides in, it clicks and locks, and it's very tight. It's not going to come off. So even though the grip folds and is really wobbly, it is a sturdy, solid handhold that you can get a pretty good grip on, even if you don't have the stock on it. Which is a brilliant idea, and it was done very well. The other pro to that is the fact that now we have a Nerf rail compatible angled foregrip like this, which is not something we've seen before, and because of that locking mechanism, it fits very tightly and snugly onto rails, even though it doesn't have the little locking mechanism on the bottom like other Nerf attachments do. So you can put this on any blaster and use it pretty well, and I end up using this on a lot of different blasters, not just limited to the Spectrum. What about the triggers, though? This blaster's got 3 of them, and 2 of them are very good. It's got a rev trigger, which is pretty clicky, and it clicks in. A main trigger, which is so good. I love the main trigger on this. And the mag release, which is awesome. It's a paddle mag release, even though it's a little bit too far away from my finger.
It's a good mag
a little bit too far away from the grip for my liking, but it's cool nonetheless. You can grab it with your thumb and pull it down. I do not like the rev trigger. It's too big. And what I mean by that is it actually goes over the finger choil and it goes down into where your third finger is going to be. So oftentimes I end up squeezing my middle and third fingers together to pull the rev trigger down when I really don't need to, because the rev trigger like rubs against my third finger and it feels really weird. I don't know why they made the rev trigger so big. Why did you do that, Dart Zone? Like, you were very close, because the rev trigger itself is very nice, but this line right here where it stops the finger choil should have been where the rev trigger got cut off, but instead they made it really big for some bizarre reason. But how does this blaster work? Well, it's a magazine-fed semi-automatic blaster. You put the magazine in, you rev, it's semi-auto. The rev-up time on this blaster is really good, surprisingly, especially for a stock blaster like this. It is very comparable to something like, not really the Prometheus, but more of like the Nemesis. It's way faster than the Strife stock rev-up time, that's for sure. It revs up pretty fast. And the magazine insertion and release, while being incredibly smooth, is also pretty difficult because of the shape of this magwell, but you could probably get a 3D printed attachment to put on it. Also, there's a jam door on this side, which is very fun to fiddle with. This blaster got a lot of things that are just fun to fidget with. Yeah, like Dart Zone.
What is it with Dart Zone and fidget toys?
In firing demos, I use an 18-round magazine. I feel like using the 30 drum today, so you're gonna get more darts out of this firing demo. With that said, let's just get into it. So while I could say that the Dart Zone Spectrum is worth your money just because you can do that with it all day, I want to answer the question of whether I think this is better or worse than the Strife. I think it's about the same. I would personally take a Strife over it just because the Strife is a little bit easier to modify, and there are tons.
Again, it depends. If I was going to mod something, I'd probably go with the Strife. If I was going to run it stock, there's all day the Spectrum. The Spectrum has been my main stock primary since almost 3 years now, and I have not abandoned it from it. I'll use a Spectrum or Retaliator, and those have it's just been really solid for me as someone who hasn't really gotten into flywheel modding as of much yet. It's a really great option. I personally think that I personally prefer it over a Strife, but not for modding. So take that as you will.
Upon tons of mod kits for it that just don't exist for the Spectrum, even though you definitely can modify this to a ridiculous degree, not quite as much as the Strife. At the same time, though, the Spectrum is not at all a bad blaster. It is extremely good, especially for $20, and it'll definitely get you where you're going. My only real complaint with it is the annoyingly big rev trigger and the fact that 18-round magazines have a weird inconsistency problem.
It's a little weird.
Put it in, and then, look, the paddle mag release presses against it, it.
Here's the thing. Once you get used to that, though, and figure out how to do it, you can do it really fast.
It's a little bit more finicky to take out. You kind of have to push the magazine forward, and then it slides, which I shouldn't have to do, but you can fix that with a 3D printed part. But my point still stands. Why do I have to 3D print a part just to fix a problem that Dart Zone could have easily fixed out of the box? But overall, my opinion on this blaster is pretty positive. I really like the Spectrum, and if you see one at Walmart, definitely give it a shot. With that said, I'll provide a buy link in the description below if you guys want to buy one. Thanks for watching!
Great video. Really great video. But we only have one more now to watch. Oh, now we're flipped back here. And next we have this. Okay, that's the wrong YouTuber. Daggone it. There you go. Alright, let's watch something of spiders. Let's see what he has done. Okay, let's watch. I want to watch one of his older videos because I kind of caught up on a lot of these newer ones. And I want to watch something I haven't finished yet. Thermal Hunter, that's a good one. I think Thermal Hunter. That one's really sticking out to me. It's a shorter one too, which means I can end the stream sooner. Ads. Oh.
If you're a fan of staying fresh throughout the day, the one product you need right now is the Native's Whole Body Deodorant.
Love this intro. It's simple, and that's all it needs to be.
What up, Duber? Spider-Avenger Miller. Busby Week is continuing, or Busby Series, whatever you want to call it, with the Thermal Hunter, one of Busby's very best blasters, in my opinion.
It's good.
From what I've researched about them and from what I've seen. But anyway, let's get into it with an external overview. No in-strike barrel lug. This is, after all, a Busby product.
True.
Up above, we do have a little front iron sight. Funny enough, there's no corresponding rear iron sight, because at the top of this, we'll get over in a minute. You'll see in a minute. Down below, we do have the priming handle to prime. You do that. Prime stroke itself is actually pretty smooth. The foregrip up here is actually pretty comfortable to use. It's actually pretty well textured, so if you Nerf with sweaty palms, you should be able to grip this pretty well.
That's good, because I have the sweatiest of palms.
To get the magazine out, you gotta prime the blaster back, and then strike the magazine pattern. Of course, included is a 10-round
First off, I want to say...
mag. Unfortunately, this is one of the...
Exact Attack is my favorite Busby series. Also, I really like Busby mags and mag releases. They're some of my favorites.
Busby blasters that isn't compatible with any other magazines.
I'm almost convinced that the chat's not appearing on this.
And it doesn't fit
on here.
And that is because of the magazine's lip.
Can someone? There's 4 people watching, and their chat's not showing up. If no one puts a chat in, it's a glitch on YouTube. So, one of you just put a chat in.
To where it tells you how to insert it properly. But it does work with other Busby mags, so you don't have to really worry about that. Don't have any other Busby mags like this guy. Actually, I have maybe like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But then up above, we have a Busby style rail. This isn't a Nerf rail. Atop of this did come with a Busby thermal scope.
Yeah, that thing's so cool. I don't have
one of those. I bought this without it, but apparently those were really good and they actually worked, which was a plus.
Oh yeah.
Down to the trigger. The trigger pull is very nice. The blaster does not have
Busby knows their triggers.
Reaper, does not have a trigger lock, so you can do that repeatedly.
It's pretty cool.
Down to the grip. This has got to be one of the worst grips I've ever felt in my life. This thing is so tiny. Like, I was hoping that this would be a joke, but...
Here's the thing. I will say this. Tiny grips are... And no chat appeared, so it's definitely a glitch in this YouTube thing, for sure. But I will say this. I would prefer... I'll take a tiny grip any day over an ununiform or unergonomic grip. If the grip's tiny, I can still hold it and it doesn't dig into my hand, I'm fine with that, okay? I don't even care. But if a grip actively tries to destroy my hand, and this is a bad example, but this is the Busby grip. So if it was just this grip, it's small, but it's serviceable. Tiny grips aren't a problem for me. It's when it freaking gets right here and it digs in your hand in the bottom here, or when just a Busby grip in general digs into your hand. I don't really mind small grips. I don't care about small grips. I only care if they are very unergonomic. See what I'm saying?
This thing is so tiny, and it sometimes hurts to put my hand on this because of how small it is. Because
taking that into account, if it hurts, then it hurts.
Probably end about right here. Busby grips, no. This one is terrible.
Again, they're usable. They don't have to go down all the way. If it's tiny, it's still technically usable. It's just not. How do I say this? It's not like it's not. It's here. Let me give an example. This is a tiny grip, one of the tiniest. However, it doesn't actively destroy my hand, so I can still hold it. And even though it doesn't fit my whole hand, it's still a good enough grip. It's still something I can hold, and my finger can try kind of just dangle here, and it's fine. As long as it stably holds the blaster and it doesn't dig into my hand, it's perfectly fine for me.
The stock, if you press this button, you can remove the stock, which does reveal not an N-Strike stock attachment point, but this was, I believe, a Busby stock point, but I don't remember any other stocks that fit it. This one fit it pretty well, and the length on this particular stock is okay. And then, of course, like I said, and this is kind of a little bit of an uncomfy region because the button is right here, so you can accidentally smack it with your hand. But overall,
I just run it without a stock personally. It's a short stock.
It's like a pretty cheap Alpha Trooper.
True.
But it does actually have a lot of better darts. And I will get this out of the way right now. For the firing demo, I will be using different darts because the darts this came with were Busby's Precise Pro darts. Mm-hmm. Those are really good darts, but unfortunately, I don't have any.
Those are my favorite darts ever.
Anyway,
my favorite darts.
Can't speak right now. That is the external overview of the Busby Thermal Hunter. Now let's show you the same firing. Firing mainly Dirt Zone Pro darts. Like I said, I don't have any of the Precise Pro darts, so these will have to do.
There's just a guy chilling in the corner there. He's just going on his phone. I really like that build of a blaster.
Still pretty accurate. Now for just jokes, firing some elite darts.
How durst you? We get a closer view. Very Cooper reminiscent. Also, clean up your boxes. I'm just kidding around.
Well, firing this thing was actually pretty fun. Honestly, not really that many complaints besides just the grip. Performance is also really good at, I believe, 77 feet per second, which is
really good performance
over the elite standard. So I guess
I'd actually use this over an Alpha Trooper.
I have, and out of my personal opinion, overall, it's a good blaster. Like, I personally kind of agree with a word said by Aaron Esser that this kind of looks like a Destiny gun. I mean, maybe, but I don't know what this would kind of look like.
What are the scope line in
I'll
it might
figure it out afterwards. But overall, it's a fun blaster. But like I said, this is pretty much like a really cheap Alpha Trooper. So you probably honestly have better luck getting.
It's cheap, but it performs better than the Alpha Trooper, which that's one thing. Also, I prefer the pump of that style of pump over the Alpha Trooper, but.
Just an Alpha Trooper over this. So not the biggest opinion on this one, but that's just because of like more the quality and also like the ergonomics. Because like, okay, look, it's a battle rifle. That's good, but the grip is what ruins it for me, and also kind of the stock region. And of course, you could take off the stock, but you have this really awkward thing that I can barely hold just because of the grip. So that's kind of where my opinion on this is standing. But again, it's not terrible. It's actually a really good blaster. It's just for better quality, I'd recommend the Alpha Trooper over anything.
Here's the thing. Alpha Trooper is a little bit better in some instances. However, if I was to run one stock, I probably would run a Thermal Hunter. I prefer that style of pump better. The size of the blaster, the way it's designed. And I usually don't mind grips like that unless it actually is actively hurting my hand. I probably would actually run that over an Alpha Trooper. I've had a lot of bad experiences with Alpha Troopers. Now I know Elite Alpha Trooper is really good. However, I just think I would prefer running this stock over an Alpha Trooper.
Much for watching this episode of the Busby series, and I will see you guys in the next one.
That was a great video, great review, and yeah. That's probably all I'll be reacting to tonight. It has been a long stream. Also, since the chat's turned off, I can't really see anything. It's messed up. I gotta figure out. Maybe I gotta do like a TTS thing, something, or just get another phone next time to monitor the chat. But yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this stream. And as always, thank you so much for. What am I doing? Anyway, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.